Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video I'm going to show you how to take stem cuttings from sedums. We just love sedums in the garden. They are fantastic hardy perennials. You just can't beat them. They come in a range of different kind of colours, so you have the green leaved ones and also the darker purple ones, and they're just fantastic. When they flower, they are a magnet to the bees and the butterflies, and these plants flower towards the end of summer going into autumn, so they're really good just when your garden maybe just starting to teeter off as the autumn's arriving. These come into bloom and they bring the garden back alive. In this part of the garden we have some Sedum Matrona, and these are absolutely fantastic. These are the dark purple leaved ones with the lovely pink flowers, and we have a group of 3 here that we planted last year in the spring, and they've really now got into really nice good clumps. So now as we're getting into summer is the ideal time to take these kind of cuttings. So what you need to be looking for ideally are some stems that do not have any flowers that are beginning to be produced. So I'm looking for some of these little ones. These 2 shoots are ideal because they don't have any flowers formed as of yet. So I'm going to take up these 2 first of all, and all we need to do is just trim. I'm going to go just underneath where there is a pair of leaves, so I've just chopped it there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the lower set of leaves. You can do this with your hands, or you can also do this with the secateurs. I'm going to nip out that growing tip. So we're looking at that kind of size for a cutting, and then just with your hormone rooting powder, you just give that a bit of a dab, and then using a piece of cane or your finger if you like, I'm just going to pop that into the edge of a pot. Now this pot has compost with added grit in it, and you need to have lots and lots of grit with your compost, and that just helps to make it nice and free draining, because these plants are succulents, and what we don't want with these is for them to be sat in water for too long, because what will happen is they'll end up rotting away. So that's the first one, and if we then go for a second one, I'm going to go just there underneath that pair of leaves, and we can take these leaves off, take them leaves off, and just nip out that very tip, and then into the hormone rooting powder, and in it goes. Now if you do have all your stems that have got flowers on them and you don't kind of see any of these that are just quite small with no flowers on them, I'll just show you what I'll do with them. So I'll just try and choose one from the back. So I'll just go here. So for this one, you can see a flower's trying to form there. If I just nip that out completely, we can then remove these lower leaves, and I'll just cut just below where those set of leaves are. Get the hormone rooting powder and pop that into the side. And just firm that along. Now just take one more for luck. So at the very back, and this again just needs to have the very top growing tip chopped off. Those taken out. I'm just going to reduce these leaves so they're not as big. Let's come off as well, and then just pop once you've chopped that end so it's nice and close to that leaf joint. and we can just pop that in alongside in there like that and just secure it. So that's my pot of 4 stem cuttings all done. Now you'll see me in a lot of videos placing bags over the top of pots when I'm doing cuttings. Now because these are succulents, you don't really want to be doing that. If you did put it into a bag, it's going to create a lot of humidity around these and it's going to end up with these rotting, and we don't really want that. So just keep an eye on it. Make sure that it doesn't dry out too much. So put it somewhere warm. If you do have a propagator or a heated mat, it can go inside that. If you don't, you can always just put them on your window ledge or somewhere just in the garden that is not in direct sunlight. You want somewhere where it's adequate light but not in direct sunlight, and just leave them till they root. Now I took some cuttings from the same plants in late summer last year, and I'm just going to show you now where we're up to with them. So this is probably the biggest one, and this is another one. So we got, out of all the cuttings that we produced, we got maybe 5 or 6 plants, and we left them in the containers that they was rooting in all through the winter, and we potted them up in the spring into their individual containers. And because we did it in late summer, if you're going to leave it that late, that is what I would advise you to do. Because we're doing it now in early summer, these should be well rooted within a couple of months, and then we can get them transplanted into their own containers much sooner, well before the autumn. So this is what you're looking at after they've grown. So these are beautiful plants. This is my favourite because this is the best one we've got so far, and this one has its own flowers at the very top. So these will be planted out in the garden very soon. What I like best about sedums, or Hylotelephiums is what they're called these days, is that they look great when they first come up in the spring. They look great all through the summer. They look great when they're flowering, as they're going into autumn, and also they stand really, really well in the winter. So you have that long period of interest where you have the lovely leaves, the lovely flowers, and then those lovely seed heads. So for me, these are a winner. If you've never grown these before, please do give them a try. They require well-drained soil in full sun, and apart from that, they're pretty much trouble-free. This particular variety of sedum is called Matrona, and that is a hybrid between the Sedum Matrona and the Sedum Autumn Joy. So it brought the darker leafed variety with the green leaf variety and merged them both together, and we ended up with this beautiful Matrona. And this Matrona has the habit of Autumn Joy but the colours of the Matrona. So you're getting 2 best characteristics rolled into one brilliant plant. And again, these are really good wildlife plants. You'll see the bees and the butterflies all over the flowers when they do come out, and they will be enjoying all that sweet nectar and pollen that they can be using at the later period of summer going into autumn. Thank you so much for watching this video on how to propagate sedum from stem cuttings. I do hope you found this video informative and enjoyable. Please give me a like, please subscribe, and if you do have any comments about this process, drop them as always in the comments box below the video. We'll see you very, very soon on the next one. In the meantime, please do take care.